Interview with Mrs. Elva Dorsey, Eaglehart Hill, November the 19th, 1991, Daisy, Maryland.
I have lived in Howard County all my life, was born in Glenelg, went to a one-teacher school for 7 years. After the death of my mother, at the age of 6, I lived with my grandparents. High school, I went to high school at Clarksville, which was 7 miles from Glenelg, and the only transportation we had was horse and buggy. I married a farmer at an early age, and with 7 children to raise, the farm was a place. For the love of land, my husband improved the land, and then going into the dairy business. When the children were of 4-H age, we went into the purebred cattle business, which was a very successful project, and the children and all of us got to travel to many states where shows were held. I also belong to a homemakers club, which is an extension club sponsored by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and neighboring colleges. That was my college education, for there I learned so many things in home economics and in keeping a well-run home and in raising a large family of children. It was my life. I enjoyed every minute of it and was able to go on to state, national, and international level in that organization. It meant so much to me because I had learned and met so many wonderful people along the way.
Could you tell us a little bit about the one-room schoolhouse that you attended when you were a child?
One-room schoolhouses in those days were, of course, one teacher and all 7 grades, and you had to get water to drink from a spring nearby, one of the neighbors. We took our own lunch. The boys had their coats and lunches on one side of the vestibule of the school, and the girls on the other. And the boys helped attend to the fire with the assistance of the teacher, of course. And over the weekend, it was a little job for a teacher to have to come back on Monday morning and get the fire going. But she did it. She was a wonderful one. I only had 2 teachers in elementary school, 2 different teachers. And the first teacher that I had later became my stepmother. And then the next teacher we had, I finished with her. She was a wonderful lady, a very dedicated person. And the subjects that we had in elementary school is unbelievable to me today when I think of the curriculum in schools today. Because we had reading, writing, and arithmetic all the time. We had history, we had English, we had physics, and civics, they called it, which was pertaining to the county and the officials, and there you learned about how the county operated. And when holidays came around, like George Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday, or Easter, Thanksgiving, there was always a little bit of art we were taught to pertaining to that particular holiday. How the teacher did all that, I don't know. But I feel that we learned from the younger grades as well as the younger grades learned from older grades. Because we were all in one room and we could hear the lessons as they were being recited to the teachers. I thought it was wonderful. I'm not saying that I want to go back to that, but I think it was a wonderful education to start out with. And I still think that today.
How many students were in the class in the school?
Well, the highest we ever had was 50. But they had given her a substitute for the first 2 grades for just a little while. So the average, I guess, was about 35 to 40.
Where was the school located?
It's on the Philadelphia Road between Glenelg and Route 40, I guess it was. 144 it was then. Okay. It was there. It was only a mile from where my father's house, where I was born, and it was just that same distance from my grandmother's where I lived part of the time, as I told you. So and of course we walked. And we had games. We played games. Early spring, we'd always play hopscotch and ante-over and those type of things. And then, of course, the boys would start playing ball. And the girls could play ball if it was good, but they wouldn't let you play unless you were good. If you knew how to hit a ball all right, you could play with the boys. But we had an hour lunch, and had 15 minutes recess morning, in the middle of the morning and the middle of the afternoon. And how she got it all in, I don't know, but it happened.
What was the game, ante-over?
Well, ante-over.
Oh, ante-over.
Oh, yeah, you have two sides, and the schoolhouse is in a lot where you can run all the way around. So one side on one side, one on the other, and you throw a ball over. And if you catch the ball on that side, then you can come around and try to catch the other team. You know, and then they have to go on their side. It was fun. It was fun.
Where was the high school?
The high school was at Clarksville. I think it's going down now, but it was a smaller school. It was elementary school and high school together. It was the second one in Howard County. Elva Hill was the only high school until Clarksville started. And now.
So it was a brand new school when you started?
No, it wasn't brand new. No, they had elementary there before. And as I told you, we drove a horse and buggy, and we tied the horse to it. They had stalls there for they had shelter. They weren't closed in, but they had a shelter overhead. And we took corn for their lunch. But the girls were not allowed to go to the barn. The boys fed the horses. And then when the time comes to go home, the boys would bring the horses up to the back school door, and the girls would get in and ride home. Like, oh, they sure. But it was interesting. Bad weather wasn't so good. But one day we went to sleigh. Of all the time we went, we only went one day, and that didn't turn out because the sun came out and snow got melted, and it wasn't bad going down. But coming home, it was pretty sloppy. But we made it.